Welcome everybody, this is Ryan from the PokeChalet, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. As you know, we're like a small store on the east coast of Canada. We do a lot of singles, a lot of single product. Part of the singles game is trade-in credits, so getting trade-ins. I'm one of those bad guys who takes credit for singles, and 75% of TCG market for trade-in credit. It's one of those things where if you have like a big card, let's say you have your Umbreon VMAX alt art, that's not something that we see get traded in, and it makes sense. Don't go trading in like these high value cards to people like me. Sell them yourself, right? If you want full value, get cash value. But there's a different type of card. There's a different type of card where trading credit makes a lot more sense. I'm going to go through those cards. These cards are a little more difficult for the average collector to rehome, because if they're using one of the big platforms and they're competing against all the other card stores for these smaller cards, luckily PokeChalet we've established ourselves, so we do have a lot of players, a lot of collectors. They come to us, we have a platform, and we have good search engine, and we have blow my own horn, etc. So there are a card type, and I'm going to show them to you now. There is a card type where it's definitely worth you taking a pile together and using for trading credit. Now, the cards I'm going to show you right now come from a collector who has been a long-time customer of mine. I mean, he doesn't only frequent me, but he definitely provides singles to me constantly. And the singles are things that are hard to home. And I will tell him, if he has a really big card, use it to trade. I mean, I know that he has, he keeps the biggest of cards because they're easier to trade. They're easier to find someone to trade to get what you want. But there's a lot of cards, and I'm going to show you some, that are just a little more sticky. And those are the ones worth going into your find a trustworthy store that you can trade in your smaller cards to for store credit. These are cards that are a lot of work to sell, and it'll take you a lot of time as a collector, or it'll take you a lot of time in competition and work if you're selling on eBay, if you're selling on a platform. So let's go through them. First, we'll take a look. Ogre's Mask. So Ogre's Mask, these promos come from the Ogerpalm EX box. I'm hoping there's some Ogerpalm EX in here, some Teal Mask, but we'll see. And he's got a couple of them, which means he opened a couple of boxes. Maybe he opened a case he bought from me, maybe. Those are good, but I actually have a lot of these. These were not as playable as they were supposed to be, I think. They do not move. Players don't buy these, and I don't think collectors buy them either. I have a lot of back inventory of these particular cards, which is fine. Up next, looks like he's opening some Prismatic. We got, a Master Ball Slowking. We've got a Regular Ball Seeking. We've got the Prismatic Energy. Now, energies are probably hard for their average collector to move. A lot of people consider them bulk. They're low, like less than 50 cents. You might be able to trade them or trade them to a player. But what happens with us as a single store is we collect a lot of these cards for trade-in. We'll have like a big inventory of hollow energies, and a player will come in and say, I'm going to bling up my deck, I'm going to get some hollow energies for my deck, and they have to get X amount of fire energies, and these will sell, but they all sell at once. Some will come in and buy a lot, but then they'll hang around for a long time. And if a new meta comes along, you will see like a bunch of the energies move at once. So that happens. People like having shiny energies or different energies inside their deck. Now, here we go. We got a Sylveon EX from Prismatic. No stamp, so it's a regular Sylveon. Heatran. We got some Master Ball action going on here, which is nice. Now, Master Balls are an acquired taste. I do see people buying Pokeballs, but Master Balls, because of the higher price point and more rarity, very, very few times do I see Master Balls really move that much. You will see a customer come in and buy like 6 of them. They're filling out their Master Ball binder. That's when they move. Prismatic, these ones move too when people working on the Master set and skipping the Master Ball, of course. Iron Hands EX. Groudon. Pokeball. We've got a regular Hoot Hoot. Black Belt's Training. Pokeball. Rayfort. So Trainers are lower value. People often don't trade for trainers. There are some people who collect specifically trainers, but we do like to have trainers. They do sell quite a bit as a single perspective. And keep in mind, we're mostly dealing with people who are filling their binders or players. Now, we do get big cards in sometimes, and this is when people who have a close relationship with me and they know that I'll be able to take their card and give them some really good product. But for the most part, this is our bread and butter. Houndour Pokeball. Iron Hands, Terapagos. These are cards that people do buy. Sometimes they take a little bit longer, but it's good to have them. Ooh, now Jolteon Pokeball. This will sell quickly. And we got some more energies from the Prismatic Reverse Holo. We've got a Slowking Pokeball Treasure Tracker. And the last of it, 2 EVs from Prismatic ETBs. Looks like he opened some Prismatic 2 ETBs. Didn't get very much, or maybe he's keeping the things that he did get. Here this Eevee promo, it will sell. You see Eevee sitting there. We've got a Voltorb hanging out on the bottom. We've got an image, picture of Eevee, and of course, the mascot of it all, Pikachu. So these are the sort of cards that you as a collector, they're great to have, and once you have one, when it's time to deal with your dupes, it can take a bit of time, a bit more effort to get rid of them. And this is the ones that I say, if you have a good shop owner who can move singles like me, those are the ones that you take in for 75 or 60% store credit. These are the ones that'll take up a lot of your time and space and energy if you wanted to sell them yourself. These are the ones that are best to come in like a bulk. Best to come in like, hey, here's a bunch of cards, give me store credit. Now, the problem is a lot of stores will not acknowledge these. They will not take in these low value singles. You have to find that store that works on volume, works on getting these cards, inventoried and sold back to players and binder collectors. There are some really great resources here in Canada that we've seen. There's a couple of stores that I actually would recommend, like Firefox TCG. We've bought a lot of singles from them for our collection when we can't get them ourselves. I've had a lot of luck getting cards from them. I don't know any of them, but for some reason they have a really good, I think they have a dedicated owner who's doing a lot with singles. There's a few more, but those ones I mostly stick to. I mean, there's the big guys like Hobbiesville and 401, but I haven't bought a lot from them. So, Danny Rion is another one that's really good for singles. Like if you want to find some singles, I think her store is really good for finding singles. And truthfully, I've been like out of the Pokemon loop in Canada for a little bit, just not looking outside my little focused area. But I recently finished this giant renovation of my home. I work from home, and as a result, it's disrupted my entire life for like 6 months, but I'm back, so to speak. I know that I still did some videos, but hopefully I'll do a little bit more. And more Pokemon content, not just me jibber-jabbing in front of the video camera. I hope to show more like singles acquisitions, more the process that we have. I have a whole stack of singles, and if you've made it this far in the video, feel free to like and subscribe. I'm going to show you another trade-in, and I'll show you what like the bread and butter of the PokeChalet, and I'll do that right now, just to extend the duration of this video. But anyways, mostly the guts of it is gone now, and we're just going to look at some cards, which is something I like to do. This is me spoiling myself on a Saturday morning, enjoying looking at cards before I have to do the heavy lifting of actually going through and inventorying, making sure that my Shopify has knowledge of all these cards that I do want to rehome. So this is another collection, trade-in, all low value cards given to me. Say here it is. I think it came to like only like 190 bucks in store credit or something like that. Maybe, I don't remember. It's been sitting on my desk for a month, but I gave them the store credit, and they've used the store credit. They buy it, Glory of Team Rocket box already with it. But these singles, I need to get online, but I've been slacking. There's been some issues that previous video covered related to chargeback scams that sort of punched me in the face this week. But you always have to recover from this stuff. So I got a big stack. Let's go through quickly of the types of singles that are the bread and butter for the PokeChalet. I know I went through one already. Okay, so let's start. It's a big stack, and I know this. Oh, I forgot that it's really noisy in here. I hope this didn't hurt the video too much. Tatsuguri. So this is from the Build and Battle decks. Those actually sell pretty good. Those Build and Battle deck promos. Let's get to it now. Obviously 151 Mew. Who doesn't love that one? Pikachu EX. Perfect. I'm going to have to do this. I want to keep this in order because my spreadsheet for this trade-in is in order. Gardevoir EX. Tyranitar EX. Wigglytuff. So all these regular EXs considered no value for most people. They're actually quite useful, quite good to have in inventory, because when someone's working on a binder, they might not have an Iron Thorns or Iron Thorns himself from Prismatic. So that's how it works. Vaporeon, these are from 151. So these hollows from 151, I don't really take reverse hollows and hollows, except these are evolutions. So there is some value here in reverse hollow Sylveon, reverse hollow Eevee. There's some value here. Espeon, Flareon, because people do master sets at 151, so they move. There's action, Flamigo, Koraidon, Arcanine. These ones do move. I think they're part of a useful deck. Kyurems, they don't, unless you're working on Latias, do move. Scovillion, no. Miraidon, and then we're getting to Japanese. Now, Japanese, we do handle Japanese singles, which I think also distinguishes us here in the Canadian market. Singles are very low value, these regular EXs from Japanese, because they don't have utility. There's very few players collecting them. There are some players who use them inside of their decks when they're not playing competitive. Like, so Dragapult, these sell. These Dragapult EX, they sell. People want them for their deck, because everybody knows what a Dragapult does in a deck, and if they want to put a Japanese one in their deck while they're playing with their friends, I've been their friends, forgiven. Brute, Bonnet, So these ones, Petrant, people do buy Japanese, but these are all like 30-cent cards. So we do put a minimum on them. We put them like for 75 cents or $1 when they're sub 50 cents, because they're true bulk and they do not move. I have a lot of Japanese EXs. The only time they do move, I know that some people who are doing like mystery packs with big cards wanted some not so big cards in those packs, and I know some have bought Japanese to fill it in. These are the promos from the Costco box. I think you can see that they have that different hollow pattern. They're not regular reverse hollows. And I think there's a swirl in there. Anyway, these ones come from the Costco, and we got some, English stuff that will sell good. Koraidon from the McDonald's, Ogrepom, Teal Mask, which these still do sell. These are a playable card. Drampa from McDonald's, Miraidon from McDonald's, Screamtail. We got a Pokeball, Hydreigon, Mamoswine, Bulbasaur from the Costco bundles, and back to Japanese and some 151. These are all staples, and they're going to be hard for the average collector to sell, even like someone who's really Facebook big binder activity. They're not something that people jump at to buy. But when they're browsing through their website, they're picking up a good card, picking up a higher value card, they might fill out their binder with these, and we do see these slowly sell. I mean, I have a ton of EXs, but only the super playable Japanese EXs will sell, and that's mostly to a player who doesn't play in stores that force them to have English. So, holy crap, that's a lot of Japanese, but that's good. And I think this is a promo from like one of the tins. It's not really a promo. It'll have like the Cosmic Hollow on it, but Mamoswine, and back to some Journey Together. And then Zoroark, those definitely move. Ruffian, Tapu, and then of course Turo moves. Grant, so we're looking back at some Crown Zenith. And here, these are cool that came in on trade. So this is someone who bought from the Pokemon Center. They got the illustration contest for 2024. I did not. I dragged the ball, so I might move these. Look at that. Did you miss out on this one? I might put these. I even like the fur alligator. Look at that one. Look, Magikarp. This is beautiful cards. And so here we go. The old Garchomp. Muck. So this is a standard trade-in. Vaporeon. Look at that. Beautiful card. And this, definitely, these are the cards that may be a little bit harder for someone who wants to go through a lot of volume to move. But once I have these inventoried, I'm of the opinion that, oh, look at this Duraludon. Really cool. Once they're inventoried, once I have them in inventory, ooh, the old Swampert, they move. Like, I'm of the opinion that all singles, look at this reverse holo Delta species Hariyama, beautiful. Now I condition everything, of course, and trade in for value and some of the promos from the build battles. So they all get conditioned and then they placed in inventory. And the nature of the singles that we have, they all sell. I'm so confident that you may not make money out of them. Sometimes a single value will depress. Sometimes it'll go up, but on average, they will sell. So if I bought something if I bought a $1 card for 75 cents, put it up for $1, it may take a year, but I will get that 25% back. I will get that market eventually, as long as the market doesn't drop to 75 cents, but that happens. But anyway, so I'm really confident in singles, not for investment, like that $1 card is not gonna go to $2, right? But as a single seller, it's really critical for me to always have a lot of inventory and keep people coming back. I want my store to always have something interesting for them to add, because Pokemon, and I'm watching other videos, Pokemon is a bit of a, let's call it retail therapy. You acquiring something you want gives you that boost of dopamine that we all search for every day, and some people find it in Pokemon. And I want to be that store that provides, not just the pack opening dopamine, but also finding that card that's really beautiful for your binder dopamine. So that's what we want to do here at PokeChalet. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're trading in your singles, find a good store who takes everything and get value for everything. And if you have big cards, don't give them in for 75%. You can give them to me, of course, but don't give them to everybody. I love big value cards too. So does everybody. That's why they're big value cards. That's why they're easy for you to bring home. Even if you take 80%, 85% in cash, do it, right? That's better than trading to me. But I will definitely do the work for you if you wanted to trade in slabs, big value cards, and of course, we take in promos and better. We don't take in bulk. I kind of wish I could take in reverse holo bulk and holo bulk, but we do not take it in right now. It'd be great if we could. Great if we had a sorter, but I don't think even a sorter does well with reverse holos. I love reverse holos. They're the crown of, they're the sleeper hits. In 10 years, reverse holos from Sword and Shield, they'll still be appreciated, I think. Could be wrong. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. What do you think? Dealing with low value singles. Worth it? I enjoy it. See you next time.